So thank you very much, everybody, for coming on to this Zoom meeting. You all know my name. My name is Priscilla Kuma. I come from Ghana. I grew up in Nigeria. I spent 10 years of my life in Oyo State. Some were called Sangwerua, near Ogbomosho. So I still have some elements of Yoruba in me. I still speak Yoruba, like 90%, whatever. It keeps going down every time. I schooled in Ghana. I went to Kabore School in Ghana, Volta region. I went to Ola Girls College School, Volta region. I further went to University of Ghana, where I did nursing for 4 years, from level 100 to level 400. I was in Volta Hall, the only female hall in the University of Ghana, or dormitory, if you can call it. So I'm a married woman. We live in New York State. I've been a nurse for 12 years. I came to the US before doing my nursing process. I had a lot of challenges trying to get this going. It took me 2 years to get my paperwork together to be able to become an RN in the US. And in that 2 years, I worked at a CNA, Certified Nurse Assistant, which I clarify on the Telegram page every day. This is being recorded, so in case your name shows up, pardon me for breaching your privacy. There's no way I can cut it off sometimes. And this is because others will not be here at this time, so they will have something to also watch later on. So I did CNA, Certified Nurse Assistant, whilst waiting for my paperwork. I was already a nurse in Ghana with over 7 years experience or something before I did all this. I found it very hard through the process. I didn't know where to start from. There was no content online like we have these days. There was no fellow Ghanaian YouTuber or fellow Nigerian YouTuber, anybody I can relate to. So I struggled through it all, and I had a friend who is a team member, Mr. Francis Obiri Adams, who is not here today. Thank you, Francis, for everything you did for myself and my 9 other colleagues who are in UK and US. You did our paperwork for us single-handedly for free with no charges. And he knows the process. That's why he's a key team member of USRN Pathway Consult, which I am a lead consultant. Okay, so we are 2 today. Our 3rd team member is not here. Most of you are familiar with Mr. Dixon Osei. He is going to come on to introduce himself later on. And most of you have called in for clarity and all that. So I decided to put out a team that is a USRN Pathway Consult. The US stands for United States. I talk very fast, sorry about that. RN stands for Registered Nurses, and Pathway Consult, UPC for short. So if you hear me saying UPC, I just mean USRN Pathway Consult. Yes. And what do? USRN Pathway Consult, we just help people. We hold your hand and walk you through the process to be able to be certified in the US and be able to work in the US as a registered nurse. Unfortunately, we only deal with 3 categories of nurses. We only deal with mental health nurses, AKA psychiatry nurses. We deal with midwives, we deal with general nurses. So only this category of nurses. I will say categorically and emphatically that we do not deal with CNAs, nursing assistants. I found a job opening online. I made a video, it went viral. Lots of you applied, some of you got it, some of you didn't get it. And people kept coming to me as if I worked there. I do not work there. I don't even know the state the company is in. So I have nothing to do with that job I posted. And this has given me a chance to ponder if I want to do that next time, because people were always attacking me, coming for me, saying that they applied and they did not get a job. And unfortunately, I don't work there. So if you didn't get a job, it has nothing to do with me anyway. So we do not work with CNAs. If you want to be a CNA, watch the video. People ask me, where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? I have answered that question several times. When you see a YouTube video, let me see if I can demonstrate one. If you see a YouTube video and there's a title, let me open one. I'll show you how to do this. When there's a title of a video, you want to click on that. You want to click on the title. I don't know if this can be seen, but when you click on the title, it's very blurry. You click on the title, it opens up a whole write-up. That is where you see the link. Any video you see, just click on the title, it opens up a whole lot that you read, and that is where you see the link. So when I keep saying I'm going to leave the link in the description box, that's what I mean. So the link to the CNA job with Worldwide Health Staff Solution is in the title. When you click, it opens up, you find the link. I've sent it to many of you. So congratulations to those who got a job, and those who didn't get it, they raised their criteria. They were now taking nurses with bachelors, those who have done 4 years degree or 3-year degree, depending on where you schooled, UK, whatever. So if you want to work in the US, what do you need? Anybody who schools outside the US, you would have to evaluate your credentials. Some boards or some states, you just submit your documents, but at the end of the day, they will still do their own evaluation. I'm sure most of you know New York State does that. You can apply to New York State directly and they'll do that for you. You can apply to California directly and they'll do that for you. But California process is very cumbersome. It works best for somebody who lives in the US. So USA, America has 50 states. Every state is like a country on its own. I'll keep saying this. One state, New York State, is almost the size of Ghana, a country. So imagine 300 million people living in 50 states. So every state is unique in their laws and rules, and every 50 states has its board of nursing and their regulations. And you have to follow those regulations to be able to work in those states. But the bottom line, all that the 50 states will ask you, they have one thing in common, is that you have to evaluate your credentials. And evaluating your credential means that they want to see whether the courses you studied in Africa, Asia, wherever you're watching me from, they want to make sure that those courses match this American standard. Yes. And it's rather unfortunate that in some African countries, we have courses that are 2 years, 1 year. We have all sorts of titles and all, and we don't really know where our courses fall. Luckily, one of the credential evaluation services do something they call ERES does something they call pre-evaluation, and they'll be able to evaluate your courses and see whether it matches the American standard. And the states that you choose matters. Many people doing this job has exposed me to a lot of information that blows my mind. Many people get stuck because they chose different kind of state combinations. The thing is that it's like a lottery, so you have to do matching. You have to draw like 4 tables. The first table will be the state that is friendly to a foreign educated nurse. Then you have to now look at the credential evaluation they want you to use and see whether that state accepts it. If that state doesn't accept, then you have to go further and look for a state that will accept that evaluation. So you just have to be doing matching and matching. And when you get the matching wrong, that's where the problem comes in. But we have mastered this. We've done it for so many people. Congrats to all people who have decided to enroll with us. It's been a smooth journey, and I hear you giving good compliments about UPC. I'm glad that you enjoyed the service, and our goal is to get you to the end. I would hand over to Dixon, who has a lot to say because he knows that I've lost my thoughts and he wants to say something. So Dixon, over to you, please.
Thank you, Boss Prissy. Yes, so as most of you may be aware, I'm Dixon Yeboah, Associate Consultant with UPC, and also a case manager for nurse midwives, psychiatrists who want to migrate to the US and work as USRN. So we have a breaking news for you. As at yesterday, CGFNS, which is the biggest evaluation company that do credential evaluation report for foreign educated nurses, from 1st August this year, they will be accepting OET, which is English proficiency test designed for healthcare workers. So beyond the IELTS academic, they will be accepting OET, which is English proficiency test that has been designed purposely for nurses. So what this means is that foreign educated nurses will have, options to choose beyond IELTS academic. So the English proficiency test is required during your visa screen, certification processes. Beyond that, some of the board of nursing, as my boss indicated, some of the board of nursing have their own requirements. Some will require that regardless of whether you did your nursing education in English or whatever, once you were educated outside the US, you need to write the English proficiency test. But a lot of the State Board of Nursing waive candidates who did their nursing education in English and all that. So at the State Board of Nursing level, most of the state waive applicants, but is at the visa screen level that the U.S. Embassy will require that you do this English proficiency test for nurses so that they can be used for visa screen certification. Yes, so that's the news I have for all followers, and I think it's a good news and we will take advantage of it. Due to what Madam Priscilla earlier indicated, UPC, we are a processing firm that's to realize now in educated nurse and you want to work as a nurse in the US, there are 3 levels. So you transition as an associate degree nurse or a BSN. So if you already had a BSN in Ghana or Nigeria and you pass your NCLEX exams, you will transition as a USRN diploma in nursing from your home country, and you pass your NCLEX exams, you will transition as an associate degree nurse. So we need to be clear on that. So what we basically do is we are a processing firm. So we take care of all your CES application. We do your board of nursing application for you. We also help you to do your fingerprint as part of the process. The board of nursing will require that you do a criminal background check, and we have a team in place to facilitate the process for you. At the same time, too, we also help you to validate your academic credentials as well as your licenses from your home country. So at this point, you will be admitting questions. If you have anything bothering your mind, the team is here to assist you to clear all your doubts. There's been so much misconception, there's been so much misinformation going on regarding USRN processing. And we've created this platform to disabuse your mind, to clear all doubts so that you'll be set on the right path in achieving your goal of becoming a USRN. So at this point, the floor is open. If you have any question, using the signs, you raise up your hand or you type your question at the chat column and we will respond to you as such. Over, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Dixon. There's a comment in the chat box. It says that I think you can change the setting of the meeting so that everybody can join freely without it distracting you. I didn't know that. So thank you very much, Charity. There's a place you can change the setting and everybody can come in without you admitting them. So if you can look into that, that would be good. Okay, so let's see if everything is clear. So I believe you are here because you want to work in the US. Most of you have already signed up with agencies, which is one of the topics I'm about to talk about. You are signed up with an agency, a recruitment agency to be precise, and you are stuck. I've got so many messages from people who are stuck. When they bring their offer, you are so eager to sign without reading. Our biggest problem is we don't do our researches, we don't read, and we don't want to invest in ourselves. I understand the process is very lengthy and very expensive because I went through it. I went through it and I know how much it cost me and my family. But when the offers come, you want to weigh all the options and see what they are offering you. That is why this journey is not a solo journey. You cannot do this hiding under your bed or hiding in one corner. You need to speak with the right people, friends, colleagues who are also on the same journey and see. I have access to all type of contracts from all type of recruitment agencies. With time, I might pick a portion just because I don't want to be liable and be sued. So I'll pick a portion of their contracts and I'll make videos about them, the things that you have to look out for. So someone says that she signed up with one of them, Interstaff, and it's been a rocky ride. Another person says she signed up with Adivia and she wants to cut it. If you want to terminate the contract, before you sign, there's a place called termination. What are the termination terms? At what stage can you terminate and go freely? And at what stage can you terminate and pay them back? Some of them, when you terminate, you can pay as high as $20,000 to $40,000 back to the company. So pros and cons of self-sponsorship. Self-sponsorship, what we do as UPC is that you pay for every stage with your own money. And the good thing is you don't pay all at once. You pay as you go. You pay whatever you can afford. And you are not bonded to anybody after you become an RN. But with the agencies, they don't know you from anywhere. So why are they pumping money in you for free? You are not their family member. So there's nothing free on this earth. There's a benefit at the end. Do you know that when you pass and they get you to America and they get you a job, they get something called a sign-up bonus? And you know that all the money goes to them without you setting an eye on the money? It can be as high as $10,000 to $15,000 for one applicant, one nurse. Okay, they're not going to give that money to you. Do you know that when the hospital is paying $40 an hour for a nurse, they might pay you like $27 for the next 3 years or 5 years? There's one of them called medical records. You are bonded to them for 5 years. I know you are desperate to go, and I know that you don't have the money. But the good thing about this whole process, whether you are doing it on your own or you're doing it with us, is that you are not doing it with bulk money. First stage, credential evaluation service. You've gone to CGFNS. They say $420, that's the new price. They increased it last week, $420. You pay the money, you print the forms out, you go to your school and your nursing school says they are taking 200 pounds, $100, 10,000 naira, and you don't have that. You go back home. Whenever you find the money, you go back to your school and pay that. You go to the nursing council of your country, your home country. They say they are taking 300 pounds. You don't have that. 300 cities, you don't have it. You can go home. You can come back after 2 years whenever you're ready. But they have timelines. Some of the credential evaluations have timelines. So you can't go home and sleep for 2 years. It's just an example. So you don't need the money in bulk to do everything that day. So you do it as you go. You do a stage, you take a break, you work, save up, do whatever you can to get money, then you proceed. So self-sponsorship is advisable because you are not bonded to any agency, as I said. So what we do, we hold your hands and walk you through the process. We know the state that is good for you because you're a midwife or because you're a psychiatric nurse or because you're a general nurse. Some states require social security number. You don't live in America, you don't have it. Some states require house address. You don't live in America, you don't have it. But there's a way for somebody who lives outside the US to be able to use such states and find a way around it. But you would not know it because there's no information out there online for people like us who schooled where we did and to be able to look on. So we find a state for you, we find the evaluation service, you send all the forms. Between 8 to 12 weeks, that's 3 months, you might have your credential evaluation report. When you see CES, it stands for Credential Evaluation Report. You have your report. The report will go to the state that you chose. When you are doing the credential evaluation, you are going to choose a state. So when the report is ready, when they receive the forms from your country and the report is ready, they send it to the state, Florida State, Texas, Ohio. Then the state will also look in the report and say, okay, this is good. She can go ahead, her education or his education matches American standard. Then you now go, they also give you a report, saying it's okay, authorization to test, ATT. Then that means you can register and take the boards. The boards, when I say boards, America, they call it boards. But when I mean boards, that is NCLEX, NCLEX. Canada writes NCLEX, Australia writes NCLEX, some other countries write NCLEX, but it's country specific. Every country with how they do their things. So somebody keeps asking me, is NCLEX in Australia the same as NCLEX in the US? Obviously, no. The gadgets they might use in Australia might be different from the gadgets they use in the US and their way of doing things. So the questions will be suited to the environment you find yourself. The council exams you wrote in Nigeria is not the same as the council exam someone wrote in Ghana, even though they're all called council exams. Okay. So you get the ATT, authorization to test. Then you go to Pearson VUE. It's an organization that they plan all these examinations, SAT, graduate entry exams, GRE, all sorts of exams for engineers, pharmacists, nurses, not just nurses, everybody. Then you would register with them. If you're writing in America, you pay $200. Then you register and take the NCLEX, the boards, the NCLEX. Unfortunately for us who come from Africa, the only center in Africa is in South Africa. There's a Pearson VUE office in Ghana, Accra, but it's just an office for something else. But if you want to write the USA nursing licensure, you have to go to South Africa to write it. There's a good news in the pipeline. There's a center opening up in East Africa. And as soon as it's finalized, the breaking news will be on this channel where you hear the name of the country that has the center coming up, so we don't all have to go to South Africa. I understand Nigerians here, you have an issue with getting a South Africa visa. And that has been very hard, but keep your fingers crossed. In about 30 days, there might be a center that is almost going to be opening in East Africa, and I'll bring that to you as soon as I have all the authentic information. And it's rather unfortunate. So you Nigerians here watching, your option, you can go to Philippines, you can go to India. It's longer, it's expensive, but I know somebody who went to Philippines to write it, and she passed, she's back in Nigeria now, and her next step is to come to America. And yes, so I know there are different, every individual is unique. You might be married to a nurse, that is why you are here, and the nurse, your husband or your wife is on the process, and you are a wife. You can tag along on maybe an F2 visa or different kind of visas. If you are married or you're partnered with somebody who has a visa to come to America, I advise you to start the process whilst you are in Asia, Africa, wherever you are watching me from. If you're living in America and you're watching me in America and you haven't started your process, but you're a nurse, this is also for you. So I have a friend, her husband is a teacher. He just is gonna come to the US in a couple of days, and she is a nurse. So she has started her process. I have questions in the chat box. I'm gonna take all the questions, but let me just quickly summarize this. So you wanna start the process, because I said it took me 2 years. I came to join my husband in America here on a spousal visa called CR1. I didn't know I could start in Africa. So you can start the process, and the only difference will be that you would write it when you finally join your partner in America. It will actually fasten the process for you. If I had known I could have started in Africa, I would have done that. Then I would just choose a center in America, come to America and write it. But I entered America with nothing at all, and I started from scratch, and it took me 2 years. So if you have somebody you are coming with, and the person has the opportunity, you want to start your processing now.
Our subscribers are midwives and psychiatric nurses. And
Marian, I think you and I had a chat this morning. There are so many names, but let's see. I have a diploma in midwifery and later did a BSc midwifery sandwich program. Which of these transcripts is it advisable to use for the credential evaluation? You have a midwifery diploma and you have a BSc diploma. Sorry, you have a BSc midwifery diploma and midwifery BSc. Which one will you use? Obviously, we want to use the one that will give you a better standing. You have a BSc in midwifery, we'll use that. But Dixon will add to that. We normally combine both. But Dixon, any response to that, please?
Yeah, so with the credential evaluation, we look out for certain courses on your transcript, i.e. medical nursing, surgical, obstetrics, pediatrics, and a few of them. So what they are interested in is the contact hours you had for these respective courses. Even if you did archaeology, BA archaeology, and you did such courses on your transcript, they are interested in it. So that's how come, you know, some general nurses, they get confused if a midwife nurse is able to write the NCLEX and all that. So they are interested in all the contact hours you had for these courses. So if you started your career as a diploma holder and eventually you went to do your degree, we are interested in both, because with the degree, you'll be exempted certain courses. So probably you will start from level 200 or level 300. It means that there are certain courses that you will not do at the degree level. So it's important that we use both of your transcripts, i.e. the diploma and the degree. Yes. It will help you boost your total contact hours you had for these courses, and also the clinical hours you had for these courses. So we will use both. Over, please.
Thank you. So Charity, I'm going to let you speak in a second. Let me just read one more question, and the next person will be Charity. And if anybody wants to use their voice to ask their question, you are free to unmute. Just type in the chat box that I want to speak. Then I'll just let you speak with your name. So let's see. I have another one. I'm a midwife and I have IELTS academic UKVI. Will it be accepted in this process? IELTS academic UKVI. So I have a case of somebody who used it and was accepted. Dixon, over.
Yes, so we always advise that at this level, if you want to pursue your dream of becoming a USRN, there are two examinations that you have to write. The first one is your NCLEX, and the second exam is your IELTS. So basically, it also depends on the board of nursing that you intend to get your license from. For example, there are state board of nursing that will require that you write the IELTS before you even start writing your entry, before they will give you the authorization to test to write the entry. But once you have your nursing education in English, a lot of the State Board of Nursing exempt candidates who had their nursing education in English from writing the IELTS before they write the NCLEX exam. It's after you've passed the NCLEX exams that your English proficiency test will be so relevant. We use it for a process called visa screen certification. After you've passed your NCLEX exams, your employer will file for what we call an I-140 visa, which is an employment-based visa, and it is required that you do what we call a visa screen certification. So with the visa screen certification, the document that they use is your CES report that you've already done, and your NCLEX pass report, and also your English proficiency test report. So the IELTS or the English proficiency test is relevant after you've passed your NCLEX exams. And that's what we will use for a process called visa screen certification. So at this level, you can't combine. I always advise my client that you can't combine the two. IELTS expires within 2 years. NCLEX is for life. Once you pass it, it's for life. So at this level, your consent should be on, and even right now, OET is being accepted and is designed purposely for nurses. So in response to your question, yes, we will need IELTS, but it's after you've passed your NCLEX exams. We will use it for a process called visa screen certification. Over.
Okay, pardon the breaking sound and pardon Dixon sound. Charity, I see your hands up. So if anybody has questions, please just type it in the box. If not, you can lift your hands. If you don't know how to raise your hands, you can just type, I want to speak, and I'll call you by name. So Charity, please, let's hear your question.
Initial evaluation, you were talking about CGFNS and ERES, right? ERES for mental health and midwife, but you were saying that the ERES is quite within a short period of time, but the cost is more than CGFNS. So I wanted to know if registered nurses can also use the ERES, or that one is only for mental health and midwives.
So with the CES report, we have CES report for professional use and CES report for academic use. So if you are a nurse and you want to, let's say, do your master's, you can approach CGFNS and they will issue what we call CES academic report. If you intend using it to get your license to work in the US, you request for CES report for professional use. So with the credential evaluation, if you are, regardless of the type of nurse that you are, you can use ERES or CGFNS. But you need to also look at the board of nursing that you intend getting your license from, because the board of nursing are always explicit in the kind of agencies that they accept their report. For example, Illinois accepts ERES report. Texas accepts ERES report, but almost all the board of nursing in US accepts CGFNS report. It's been in existence for so many years, and you see these nurses recruitment staff and all that. It's been the agencies that have been, recruiting nurses from outside the country, and they mostly prefer working with CGFNS. So beyond CGFNS, ERES can do your CS report for you if you're a general nurse or a midwife and all that. But the only difference between CGFNS and, let's say, the rest of the credential evaluation agencies is that with ERES, they do what we call course by course evaluation. Course by course evaluation. So they are going to analyze every course that you did. In fact, the documents that you need to submit to them before they go ahead and issue you your CS report is your course description or the course syllabus that you use during your nursing education. So it's one of the documents that you need to submit to them before they issue you those reports. So in a response to your question, use ERES, but you need to consider the board of nursing that you are applying to. The only competitive advantage that CGFNS have over the rest is that CGFNS report is accepted by almost all state board of nursing in the US, and they also do what we call a visa screen certification. Over, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Dixon. So I think Esther said her question was not answered, and I see another hand. Bless, and I'll get to you in 1 second. So Esther says, my question was not answered. I'm a diploma midwife. Can I also enroll with USRN Pathway? Yes. So before you joined in, I'm sure you were a little bit late. USRN Pathway Consult, also known as UPC, we handle 3 categories of nurses. The first category, we do general nurses. We do general nurses, psychiatric nurses, which are also called mental health nurses, and also midwives. So yes, you are a midwife, you can enroll with us. Blessing, you can please go ahead with your question. Blessing, your hand was up, but I think she's dropped off the whole list right now. Okay, so if Blessing is not here, let's do the second question. Let's take somebody else. Someone said, can I pay part of the $300? Yes. If you live in Africa, you pay $50 non-refundable commitment fee. Then, right before we do your state board registration, you should have paid the $250, remaining $250 by then. So we don't take the $300 upfront, but if you live outside Africa, you pay the $300 upfront. You might want to say, how will they find out? Trust me, we'll find out. We'll find out. And so $50, if you're in Ghana, it's about 400 cedis. We are using $1 is to 8 Ghana cedi exchange rate. So 400 cedi commitment fee, and we send you a bunch of forms to fill. And if you don't fill out those forms in 7 days, we cannot work with you. Somebody got the forms and went to bed for 3 weeks and came back and said, I paid. No, we want to deal with serious people. So we have steps to stop people who are not actively involved. When it comes to NCLEX, you have to be intrinsically motivated to be able to take the test and pass it. NCLEX is very strategic and it's very, very, very hard. I'm not scaring you, but you've all heard that before. And you need to be on board. You need to soak your whole soul, your being, your body, your spirit, all in the NCLEX mood. So it's not about just paying money and relaxing. So as soon as you pay, it's a boot camp when you come to UPC. Go, 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 go. I'm always bombarding you with fill this form, submit this, do this, because we want to get you going. We don't want you to slow us down at all. So think carefully if you want to work in the US. Think carefully if you want to sponsor yourself. And if you are paying that much money, do you want to go and fill, travel all the way to South Africa to fill, and then have to go again? So you need to be on board to take it. Another question, please, can you help clarify between the IELTS and OET? Basically, they are all English proficiency tests. The only difference is that the OET, Occupational English Test, is based on your occupation. So it's a medical English language. The questions are medically oriented. Occupational English Test. And what is your occupation? Nursing. So I'm told those who took it said it's a medical question. It's medical for medical people, for nurses and doctors, healthcare workers and all. So to them, people who have taken both think that the OET is a little bit easier compared to the IELTS because it's your medical language. You've been speaking it for 10, 20 years of your nursing career. So that is the difference. Any further question? Blessing, your hand was up and you left. So if anybody else has a question, you can please take it and we'll go. Your goal is to enter the US and I'm waiting for you here. So make more pounds, save up and come join me here. So this is a UK question. Let's say you are a diploma midwife from Ghana. You migrate to UK as a senior carer or healthcare assistant. You work for 2 years and then decide to do ERES evaluation and write the NCLEX and pass. Will the person get an employer to sponsor her to US to work as an RN? Or can she be disqualified because of the break in practicing midwifery? Never, 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 never. Once a nurse, always a nurse. Nobody's going to disqualify you because you went to UK to practice. The only difference is that so far as you schooled in Ghana, when you want to do your credential evaluation, you're going to go back to you're going to go back to Ghana where you schooled. You're going to go back to Ghana Nursing Council. If you're in UK and you schooled in Nigeria, the fact that you're in UK has nothing to do with your evaluation. Every document has to go back to your nursing school in Nigeria, your nursing school in your nursing council in Nigeria. You do all the paperwork. The only advantage you have for living in UK is that you have a center in London where you can go take the NCLEX. That is the only advantage you have, different from somebody who is in Ghana, Kenya, Zimbabwe, who has to travel to South Africa. You have a center in London. So you can, there's no break in service. So far as you approach a recruiter and say, I have a license, they'll rush for you and you will have the bargaining power. I keep saying, if you have the results, the RN license, you have a bargaining power. You will determine how much you are paid because you get so many offers and you have an option to choose. But if somebody invests in you, Evans, already Python sponsors you, when they say they are giving you $5, you can't challenge that because they invested in you. They paid, gave you books and all that. Yes. So UPC, what do we do? So you register with us $50 or $300, depending on where you are. The 50 is non-refundable. We give you all the forms to fill. You fill out the forms. Then we start working. You send one of the forms to your school, send one of the forms to your nursing council. Then, right at that same time, there's an NCLEX class ongoing. You sign up for the NCLEX class, intensive 6-month NCLEX class. It's a must. It's a do or die. You have to be there to attend that. 6 months. The only time you do not have to do the whole 6 months is when you score 90% in every single assignment they gave you from day 1 to, like, let's say 3 months. And trust me, NCLEX is not that easy. You can be scoring 90% and be going. So you are going to do the 6 months for sure. We don't want you to invest in yourself, spend so much money, travel to South Africa, fail and come back. And as soon as you go and you fail, you are very demoralized. It's very hard to bounce back. We want you to be adequately prepared to be able to go face that battle out there and come back. So after you come back, you've passed, what do? We link you to recruiters in the US here who are looking for nurses who have license. Then we are done with you. You get to America, all you have to do is come give testimony on my channel, Lakuma YouTube, and come say that, oh, UPC helped me in this and this, and that is it. So midwives, you can work in America. There's a video out there on my channel. I shared it. I think it got about 1,000 views. There's a midwife who lives here. She didn't know that either. She began nursing school first semester and realized that she could work and stopped. So midwives, you can work here. Psychiatry nurses, you can work here. General nurses, you can work here. The state you choose and the credential evaluation company you use is what determines whether your report will come back and say it is comparable to American standard or not. If you're already with an agency and you want to terminate, go and ask them what the termination terms are. I'm sure you have a contract, read it, terminate, and you can do this all on your own without coming to UPC. And you can do this with the agency because they will sponsor some of it. There was a question on the Telegram group. We want an agency that sponsors everything. Quote me today, there is no agency that will sponsor everything for you from A to Z. You would pay something for sure. You will pay something for sure because it's a lot. They will not sponsor everything for you. You will pay something. Do my family, my spouse and my children, husband, wife or children come with me? Yes. Your spouse will come with you, whether you go with an agency or whether you come with UPC. As soon as a recruiter gets your onboarding process going, you want to mention to them that I'm married, I have a husband, I have a wife, I have children below 21 years. You want to have those people's documents ready, birth certificates, passports. I have 2 people on here today who are watching me whose partners got an opportunity to come to America and they are still stuck in Africa because they do not have passports and the passport is delaying. You do not want to be that person. Your passport should be active, at least 2 years active. Let's say you have a passport of 2025, is good to go. You do not have to wait for the expiry date. Expiry date of 9th July 2022 before Monday you go to the passport office. No. You can go and renew your passport way before it expires. Some airlines will not even let you board if your passport is going to expire within 3 to 5 months. They will not let you board. So keep checking your passport. There's a lot going on. Life has been hard. There's a lot going on back home. We know, we understand, but keep all those things, look at them and see when would my birth certificate, where is it? Where's my passport? Where's my this and this? You don't want your partner to get a chance, win American lottery, and you, the children and wife, husband, you don't have passports. Yes. So if you're married to anybody who has come, you want to start your process before you come in. And you want to choose a center in America because by the time you come, your evaluation would have been ready. So somebody says, I'm not ready now, I have a lot on my plate, but I've paid a commitment fee and I want to wait. You can wait for the classes, but you can work on your evaluation because it takes about 3 months. So by that 3 months, you have your report. By the time you get the ATT, authorization to test, you would have been ready to take the boards and go. Because any moment you wait is a waste of time. We don't want to go into talking about how bad the nursing salary is in Africa. No matter where you are, they do not pay as well. I posted a video today in Dubai. Look at how much a CNA is earning. A nursing assistant is earning. So if you want to make this decision, you want to change your life and go out, please do it. Don't hesitate. And those of you who keep listening to your friends, somebody called me yesterday. I wanted to go, but they said there's so much shooting in America and life abroad is hard. The snow, the weather, and you don't see your partner and all. Yes, but is life abroad harder than life in Nigeria? Is life abroad harder than life in Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, wherever you are? It's totally worth it. There's nobody, I cannot discourage you. It's totally worth it. What they pay a CNA an hour is even more than what you earn in going to work for 2 weeks. Okay, any further questions? Any hands up?
So Boss PC, I want to quickly chip in this, just a quick information to share. You know, there's been rumor going on in Ghana that the US Embassy, you can't have an appointment unless the next 5 years and all that. So with EB3 visa is immigrant visa. So the ones that are having issues are the non-immigrant, visa appointment. So the non-immigrant, like a visitor, a student, if you are going as a non-immigrant, is then that these issues crop up, issue with having a long queue, appointment issues and all that. But with EB3 is immigrant visa. So your case is determined by the National Visa Center. So once your employer file what we call an I-140 and it is approved, your case is sent to the US National Visa Center. So once they get the green light, they order your consulate or your home embassy to call you for the interview and all that. So the issue with rumor that unless the next 5 years before you can get an appointment and all that, it's false in connection with your EB3 visa and all that. It's an immigrant visa and you don't have to wait for that 5 years to come. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Another question, please. What is the career pathway from Ebenezer? What is the career pathway for those who have diploma in midwifery in US? Do you do degree in nursing? So midwifery, I guess you have not watched the video I shared, but basically, you a midwife, you a psychiatric nurse, you are going to write NCLEX RN. There are two types of NCLEX written in America. NCLEX is the USA licensure for nurses. There are two types. You are either writing NCLEX RN, RN meaning registered nurse, or you are writing NCLEX PN. NCLEX PN is for LPNs. Who is an LPN? An LPN is a licensed practical nurse. So again, there's a video out there about that. You are either a PCT or a CNA or what UK you call carer. So CNA, Certified Nurse Assistant, you do a certificate program for 6 weeks. You go to do some online class, you go to a lab and do simulation, then you get a certificate to practice. You bath patients, feed them, clean them, and all, take them on a walk. That is a CNA, PCT, Patient Care Technician. That's what I did for 2 years. LPN, you go for a 2-year program. Thanks to COVID, they've compressed it in some states so they can do it for a year. Then you are a licensed practical nurse, but ideally on paper, it's a 2-year program. You are a licensed practical nurse, you take NCLEX. You take NCLEX PN. What does a licensed practical nurse do? You do everything, but you have to consult the RN, a registered nurse. If you want to go give medication, there are some medications that the first dose, you cannot administer it. You have to wait for the RN to administer the first dose, then the second dose, if they are taking it every 6 hours, you administer it after 6 hours when the RN has given the first dose. You cannot put an IV cannula in an arm, a patient's arm. The nurse has to do it. But you can monitor the IV, make sure it's flowing well, make sure there's no, what do we call it, extravasation or infiltration going on. Yeah. So things like that, that is what you do. And the RN can delegate to you. Go and check my patient's oxygen level. And if you notice something, the patient has a wound, you go and tell the RN, I've noticed this, what should I do? So you're basically working hand in hand with the RN with instructions. You cannot act on your own, ever. Everything you check with the RN. The various floors I've worked, LPNs take the same assignments. Let's say I have 6 patients, they take like 4. But when she has to go place an IV in the person's arm, she has to come find an RN, the charge nurse, or me, or anybody, and say, Priscilla, can you help me place an IV in my patient? She came without an IV, or she took an IV out. When the person has to receive morphine drip, she cannot start it. We have a PCA that we use to give medication, narcotics to sickle cell patients and all. That patient cannot do, that LPN cannot do that. Let's move on. So RN, you who did diploma in Ghana or Nigeria as a midwife, you'll be an RN. You are not an LPN. You are a registered nurse, but we have 2 types of registered nurses. We have an associate registered nurse. That is you watching me who did midwifery. You are an associate RN. If you did a 3-year program, you did not get BSc or BNSC as referred to in Nigeria, you are an RN, but you are an associate RN. I don't think I've ever mentioned this today. So you are an associate RN. I, who went to University of Ghana, did a 4-year bachelor's degree. I'm an RN, BSN RN. Bachelor of Science in Nursing, registered nurse. That's what I am. You did diploma in nurses training in Ho. You are an associate RN. You take NCLEX RN. So a midwife, before you can be a midwife in America, you have to be a general nurse first. You have to go to school and study general nursing, either as an associate RN, 3-year diploma, or as a BSN. You do general nurse first, general nursing first. It's not the same in UK. UK, you go straight into mental health, then you are going 3 years, you are done. You do general nursing first. So if you happen to do associate RN, then you have to go and do a bridge program and do a 10-month, 12-month course to get your BSN and be like me. Then after that bridge course that you get your BSN, then you now go further and go and do your master's as a midwife. Then you now take NCLEX for midwives. But our setting in Africa, our education setting, I'm sure in UK too is the same, because you did midwifery from level 100 to 300 or whatever. You would have to come to the US and write as an NCLEX RN. Whether you're writing South Africa land, you're going to take NCLEX RN. You are not a midwife in America. Nobody will call you a midwife in America. If you are a midwife and you think that my passion is to be a midwife, do or die, when you write NCLEX RN and you enter America and you are working as an RN, then you have now to go and do BSN, go and do general nursing, then go and do your master's in midwifery. Then you can now work as a midwife, a certified midwife. Midwives are independent. They are like a doctor or a PA or MP on their own. They have their own consultation office and all that. But when you do midwifery in Africa, you are coming here to take NCLEX RN. You are going to work as NCLEX RN. But you can work in orthopedics, trauma, neuro, outpatient, doctor's office, whatever. But you cannot be catching babies. You cannot deliver babies. No, delivering baby is a high professional thing. So kindly find that video on my channel and watch it. Let me take one more question and I'll let Dixon take over. So that's the midwifery pathway for anybody who's schooled in America here to be a midwife. You need to keep going to school all the way. Please, my question. Okay, I think I took the long one. Yeah, or she can discover because of the break in practice. No, I took that. Please, Prissy, after you pass the NCLEX, self-sponsorship in quotes, and you get a job in USA through an agency, are they going to bond you for 2 or 3 years? Every agency with their rules. That is why it's good to open the contract and read. If you have a lawyer friend, you want to take that document to them and let them read line by line. The ones that really tight, put you in a tight corner, they are written in fine print, very, very small, so you don't even see it. You are just desperate to go to America. So, oh, Interstaff, MedPro, Avant, OGP, let me sign. 10 months, somebody in Adavia, you've not heard from them till now, you are here watching me, you reached out to me. Yes, so be careful, get a lawyer friend to sign, to read for you if you cannot afford a lawyer. Yes, so some they bond you 2 years, some they bond you 3 years. Some do direct hire, but they are very rare. If they do direct hire, they lose more than, they lose more, so they want to keep you under their wings for a while. Please, Prissy, is it relevant for a diploma midwife in Ghana to pursue degree in nursing and not write licensure to get a PIN with a registered nurse? Let me read this one more time. Is it relevant for a diploma midwife in Ghana to pursue degree in nursing and not write licensure to get a PIN with a registered nurse with the intention of saving herself?
Yeah, so I get her question.
Okay, over then.
Yeah, so if you want to pursue your degree in the US, of course you will still need your credential evaluation report, but for that one, that report will be academic. So with the credential evaluation report, we have two: the one for professional and one for academic. The one for academic, you are using it to pursue your master's or your what do you call your bachelor. But if after you've done your first degree and you still want to practice as a nurse in Ghana, in the US, because you had your first nursing education outside the US, they will still require you do your verify your first thing that you had with your home country. Yes, important that you keep a clean sheet, stuff and all that. Yeah, so you still your PIN has to be still, you know, evaluated and validated by CGFNS or any credential evaluation before you can go ahead and practice in the US. Because it's an education in Ghana or in Nigeria and you had your first license to practice as a midwife, they have to validate those things. Yes, regardless of whether you've done your master's in US or degree in US. Yes,